Hey guys, C-Drama Innovation here and welcome back to a new video. This week we have a lot of news to cover. I was quite busy last week, so I kind of compiled everything into this one regarding all the cyberspace stuff, the new rules, regulations, we have scandals and different little controversies. But first, as always, we start with the dramas that recently aired and then we'll go into the other news and then we'll talk about the dramas that recently started filming. Okay, let's just jump on into it. First off, we have Love Under the Full Moon, starring Zhu Jingyi and Zhang Yecheng. This is a 24-episode iQIYI drama that has romance, fantasy elements, and time travel as well. This is a part of the iQIYI Sweet On series lineup, and it follows a girl who escapes from her murderer in 2011 under a supermoon and travels 10 years in the future in 2021. She appears in front of the male lead, and somehow her existence is tied to him, so they always have to stay close to each other. And without having a choice, they end up staying together, and he decides to help her recover her memory and find out her killer. As for first impressions, this was quite a hard to watch show just because it felt super choppy and I don't know, there's something wrong with the flow and I just wasn't interested even after 2 episodes. I will try and give it 2 more episodes. Usually I stop dramas like around the 4th episode mark if I decide to drop. And I definitely do love both the leads, especially Zhang Yecheng, but unfortunately the script isn't for me. And we'll just see, but this will probably end up in my monthly reviews episode 7, which will come out probably at the end of the month. On August 31st, we have another iQIYI drama. This also has 24 episodes. It's a historical romance drama called Cry Me a River of Stars. This stars Luo Zheng and Huang Riying. This is about a new magistrate who needs to investigate a cold case, but he needs to borrow the female lead's property or her boat in order to do this. They end up working alongside each other and eventually fall in love. So far, there are mixed reviews on this. A lot of people aren't happy with how they styled the male lead and says that they put too much makeup on him and too many filters. Another major reaction to this is that the female lead's voice dubbing makes her sound annoying, even though people enjoyed her works in previous dramas. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And we also have My Bargain Queen, a heavily anticipated romance workplace drama starring Kenny Lin and Wu Jinyan. This is one of those female-centered dramas where it focuses on a strong female lead who loses everything but decides to work from the bottom up and develop her own company. Now she's quite successful, but who is her rival? Of course, the male lead, who finds her a quite worthy opponent, and they eventually fall in love. Personally, I'm not too big on romances in the workplace, since I think these dramas usually tend to be like 40 to 50 episodes, which is probably too long for any modern romance dramas in my book, but since I do love the actors, I'll probably check this one out as well. Moving on, let's talk about the Zhao Liying controversy. This all started when there was just a lot of back and forth, a fan war between 2 fandoms, Zhao Liying and Wang Yibo. The fans were fighting on whether or not there's going to be a second collaboration, and this got really big online. And the timing is just really bad since there's been so many scandals this August. So a lot of huge platforms in China are just eliminating anything that's toxic, including fandoms, and they're trying to reduce the amount of influence that actors, actresses, or celebrities can hold on the public. Hence, as a consequence, they muted her studio for 15 days along with a bunch of other fan sites and people who were active in the fandom. They are trying to push for a no scandal, no fan war policy, where discussions of artists in toxic ways are leading them to mute super topics that involve celebrities. So even though there's still going to be traffic for these sites and gossip or whatever, they're trying to limit it to mainly focusing on the artist's work rather than the gossip on their lives or scandals relating to them. This movement is now being called the Qinglang campaign for a better online environment. Cyberspace Admin of China calls for removal of celebrity rankings and things that ask for fans to spend money on, such as paying for votes or whatever for those charts that tells you, like, let's say the top celebrities of the month and popularity polls. some popular Chinese platforms that usually post weekly updates on polls of the top 10 actors and actresses for whatever reason is V-Linkage, Shuni, Powerstar, Datawin have all announced that they'll be canceling and stopping all celebrity rankings. As a part of the Qinglang campaign, other big platforms such as Douyin, aka TikTok in China, also removes the celebrity idol ranking chart and celebrity topics on the charts and the app. And they are also eliminating a lot of spam culture. For example, we have fandoms that try to mass purchase like albums or songs again and again on charts so that it would rank up higher when the idol that they like is coming out. So QQ Music responds saying that they have implemented a new limitation where accounts are unable to make repeat purchases, which means that you can only buy one album of the artist or that one song when it comes out only once. What are your thoughts on this? A lot of people are actually in support of this because there's been a lot of toxic online cultures where fandoms have too much power. They can just cancel anyone with like a snap of their finger or by discussing things. But my biggest question for you is, do you think this will work? And you know, people tend to gossip online. It's basically what social media is for, to put out your opinions. Do you think that this will have a negative effect? Or do you think this is what is needed to have a cleaner space online? There is one other side effect, as we've seen with Zhao Liying. It's because of this type of campaign that now artists and their studio has to address these things really quickly, and you have to kind of be public about it and just make sure that everyone knows that you're not supposed to promote fan wars or whatever. Even though they weren't promoting fan wars, the main controversy comes from Zhao Liying not acting fast enough, or her studio not acting fast enough to stop these fans from attacking other people online and other fandoms. So sadly, there's a little bit more of responsibility on the artists' studios teams to kind of just keep your fandom in line, or else you'll be like criticized by the government. Regarding this campaign, we also have Tencent Video saying that they will change their VIP membership so that each person can pick which episodes they want to buy in advance. So before, with the VIP pass, you kind of have access to everything, but I think they're just changing it now so you're able to only purchase the episodes that you want to watch. So for example, you're busy, you don't want to pay, but your membership before says that you already have access to all of them in advance, but you're busy and you only want to pay for like 2 episodes. So now you can select those 2 episodes and pay like per episode, if that makes sense. But there's actually been a lot of protests where netizens are just calling them to cancel the VIP track for good, so everyone will be on the same pace. But honestly, I don't think that will happen because, you know what, profit first is like all of these big companies' main objective. We also have the Zhang Shuang apology and her being found guilty for tax evasion, which I went into a lot of detail in my previous video. I posted Zhang Shuang's verdict, so you can watch that in the description box below. I'll leave it in my Chinese scandals playlist as always, and you can scroll and watch it. As for drama rumors, the golden hairpin with Yang Zi and Chris Wu is now rumored to have Shu Kai as the main male lead. So far, there's no concrete evidence of this. However, Shu Kai is in a stage where he's trying to look for his next big project. He's been offered a BL drama and also this one, as well as some big S+ drama productions as well. So it really does depend on whichever one he chooses. But let me know your thoughts in the comments and if you think he'll choose it or not, or if it's a bad idea to attach your name to a controversial drama project. I think the biggest mystery out of this whole Qinglang project and this month is why Zhao Wei's name has been removed from so many platforms, and she was in the cast of My Fair Princess, Romance in the Rain, and other drama projects on multiple streaming platforms. Tencent Video has removed all of her works as well, and her Weibo account, her Super Topics, has been shut down. But the reason is still unclear. I wonder what's happening. She is one of the biggest names in the industry and owns her own company. There's a conspiracy theory that it's because behind the scenes she's defending Zhang Zhihan and she's actually his boss. since he's signed under her studio. But I don't know. Let me know your theories down in the comments below. Last but not least, we have 2 dramas that recently held their official booting ceremony to announce their start of filming. The first one is called Blooming. This is a Youku production, Hwang Ri-ying and Alan Fang. A lot of fans usually know him from his second male lead roles, where he never gets a girl, unfortunately. But it's finally good to see him break that cycle and star as a male lead for once. This is a drama about 2 people as disciples in the same sector. It seems to be a friends to lover trope, and this also has fantasy elements. It's about the male lead who has a magic flower on his forehead that gradually blooms when he's emotional, and when it fully blooms, it will fall into the devil's hand, where I think they'll cause a lot of destruction to the world. So it seems to be a forbidden romance as well, and the female lead is trying to stop that, but I feel like they're gonna obviously fall in love, making it a kind of forbidden romance. And fun fact, actually it's supposed to be Sabrina Chen who was the female lead, but she dropped out last minute. Last but not least is the Ingenious one, which looks super cool. They release posters for the main characters, which is Chen Xiao, Mao Xiaotong, and Tang Xiaotian. I really like the cast. It has 36 episodes. It's an iQIYI drama, but it looks a bit more high budget. It's a martial arts wuxia historical romance drama about a man who travels the world and meets a bunch of different people, one of them being the female lead who is an elf, and other characters, various creatures with various backgrounds and martial arts skills. They all come together as a group and try to defend the world and uphold justice. Anyways, that's it for this video. Make sure to subscribe, turn on notification bells to all. You can also check out my Ko-fi if you want to donate or support my channel even more by buying me a coffee. You can check out the links in the description box below. As usual, all the names and titles are in the description box as well. You can find everything down there, basically. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for tuning in.